Hey everyone, it's Mitch. I wanted to give my impressions of the Dark Forces remaster that was recently released by Night Dive Studio. I never got to play this game originally when it released back in 1995. I never thought I was gonna get to experience this game. I've heard of it, but other than that, like I kind of put it on the back of my mind, like I said, because I never thought I'd get to play it. But here I am today. Uh, just recently beat the game. But Night Dive has been taking like a bunch of these games like this. I know they took like Doom 64, like the Quake series, the original Turok trilogy, and I know they redid like System Shock, and they've been doing like these remasters, like throwing like fresh coats of paint on them, like letting fans of the originals re-experience them again, and a lot of people like myself getting to experience them for the first time. And I'm very grateful. I actually didn't know this game was actually getting this treatment until like a week or so ago. Like whenever the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase happened, they showed the first two Battlefront games. So whenever I was like online looking to see like about the information on the two Battlefront games, I ran across that this was getting a re-release in like February, but it was like towards the end of February, like February 28th. So it was gonna be like plenty of time to like play this game, see what it was all about, and like pretty much hold me over until those come out. And I was pretty excited about being a big Star Wars fan. So after I got like played this, I gotta say I was pleasantly surprised on like how well this game holds up and like how good of a job Night Dive Studio is. Which, I mean, from all their other stuff, I shouldn't have been surprised because they've done really good work with all the games that they've kind of like helped polish. But I gotta say, like I said, I mean, this game, I really enjoyed my time with it. The gunplay holds up really well. I thought the enemy variation was pretty decent. The story's not bad. I mean, I was invested in the story, but like not super invested. I mean, it was cool getting to see like the whole progress of like the Empire taking like the Dark Trooper and kind of like growing their project and seeing them advance through the game was pretty interesting. Uh, the only thing I'll say that I had like an issue with, and a lot of people will kind of agree with me on that one, was the maps can be kind of tricky to navigate, and some of the puzzles, like some of the puzzles in particular, like really tested my patience. One in particular on one level, I actually had to look up a guide, and that would be one thing. Like if you get the game, I would say like, and if you're not used to playing like games from this era, is to like definitely have some patience because it was one of those things like I never would have guessed it if I wouldn't have had a guide. And like I said, I'm not ashamed that I had to look it up. I mean, because it was actually pretty tricky. But once I got past everything like that, I mean, the level designs were pretty cool. And like I said, getting lost into them, I wouldn't say is necessarily a bad thing. Because it forced me to explore like a lot of the maps, and I found a lot of the secrets like on all the different maps and things like that. Found like a lot of the weapons, explosives, uh, and like I said, I found them before you would have just like defeated the enemies and picked them up off their bodies, which was kind of cool. And like I said, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a bad thing. The game does have like a little map system that you can pull up, but it wasn't really helpful to me. I think I tried using it like one or two times, but it never really helped me in the game. Uh, but like I said, I thought the game ran really well, all things considering. I know on Xbox, like I didn't run into like any like performance issues or frame hiccups like during combat or like really intense like action scenes or anything like that. I think it was targeting like 120 frames per second. It did a pretty good job of that. I know Switch was shooting at like 60 frames per second, which for the most part, everything I've heard, it ran pretty good, except for like some frame hiccups when like you would get into combat. But supposedly they have a patch that's got like all that fixed. For $30 for me not getting to play the original, I think it was definitely worth it. And especially if you're like a Star Wars fan and a boomer shooter fan, I think it's definitely worth it because whenever this game came out, like I said, and some of the puzzles that you had to do as far as like not just getting like a key and opening up like certain doors, like it had other like environmental puzzles that were really cool as far as like raising water levels in order to access like certain doors or like moving platforms to get to certain sections of the map, or like these little ledges that you could hop on and like kind of like walk across to like hop onto other platforms to keep progressing. I just thought that was really unique for a boomer shooter of this time. Like I said, I don't know how common that was in a lot of them back then, because I didn't really get to experience a lot of them. And like I said, being that Night Dive's like releasing a lot of these like this, it's been pretty fun. I know I got all the achievements for this game, finished a lot of that up today as of recording, and I'm probably gonna do a second playthrough, upping the difficulties. Uh, if you're not a Star Wars fan or not a huge fan of boomer shooters, but like interested in checking it out, I mean, I could definitely understand waiting for the sale. But like I said, my only piece of advice is like some of the maps and puzzles can be kind of tricky, and I would just have some patience, and I wouldn't get like super discouraged if you couldn't figure them out, because like I said, I mean, there's plenty of guides on there online to help you get past a lot of that stuff, so you can keep progressing. And I wouldn't be ashamed of having to use some of those. But that was just kind of my thoughts on the game. I really enjoyed my time with it. I think I clocked in by the time I got finished with everything like 9 hours and like 33 minutes. By the time I got like all the achievements and had the credits roll, so I feel like you're getting a pretty good like value wise, and especially like going through and replaying all the missions, maybe using like some of the different weapons. Like one of the game has like a lot of like throwable explosives that you can use. I didn't personally use a whole lot of them. I didn't I don't know. I just didn't think they felt very good. That was probably one of my own complaints, like only complaints about the game. And like a lot of the blasters though, that's what I mainly preferred to use. But if I did another playthrough, I'll try to like utilize like the some of the explosives more than what I did. But that's my thoughts and opinions on this game. You guys let me know what you think. See if you guys are going to pick this up or if you guys are going to hold off. See ya.